In today's video I will show you how to make twisted buns with cheese. They are homemade, taste incredible, highly recommended. Nice and fluffy. Okay, we're gonna start with a starter. So we will start with yeast. We need 25 grams of fresh one. So we're gonna put 25 grams in here in a bowl, and we're gonna add some milk. The milk has to be warm, room temperature. It cannot be hot or it cannot be cold because it's gonna kill yeast. So it's important. Remember, with yeast, you always have to buy them with the longest date. That way you will make sure that they are like freshest possibly you can get them. So it will be better, more fluffy dough. Okay, milk. We've got 250 milliliters of milk in the recipe. We need about 100 milliliters from that amount. I'm gonna heat it up gently, as I said, so it will be nice warm. That will help these to grow, and we don't want it to be too hot because it's gonna kill it, or too cold because it's not gonna work. So it's important how you're gonna heat it up. And I would highly recommend whole milk. Whole milk is much better, full fat. And the cake or whatever you're making dough will be nice and fluffy. Remember, as I just explained, you do have to keep an eye on that milk. It just have to be warm up slightly and not hot. It's important. Okay, we've got in here 100 grams of sugar for our recipe, and we'll need 1 tablespoon to add here, and that will help the yeast and the dough to grow. Okay, now we'll need 540 grams of flour. Better quality flour, better quality dough you will achieve, and better bake. So I will highly recommend to get good quality flour. I'm gonna use that one. Doesn't matter which one you use, it's up to you, of course, but from my experience, use the best flour you can for baking. We will need 540 grams of pre-sifted flour, so make sure you're gonna sift your flour so it will be nice and fluffy bake. That is really important, so we're gonna sift it in now. Okay, 541 grams of flour. We're gonna sift it now, and here we're gonna have to add 1 tablespoon. Pre-sift our flour, but we'll need 2 tablespoons of flour adding to our starter here right now. Okay, once you make sure that all the ingredients are combined, well combined like flour, there's no bits there, you want to cover your starter and leave it in a warm place, ideally by the radiator, to make sure that the starter is working. So in the meantime, we're gonna make a filling, and once we made the filling, this will be ready. So around 15 minutes time. Okay, I will show you in the mixer how we're gonna make a filling for little sweet bread rolls. Okay, we're gonna start with the filling. We'll need cheese, which is fatty one or half fat. So those are the best cheeses. So full fat curd cheese, as you can see in here. The best is from a company called Piątnica, but I couldn't get that one, so this one will be sufficient. We need 500 grams, so 250 grams each, so we've got 500 in totals of full fat curd cheese. add 2 egg yolks. I always crack the eggs and put them in a little cup so I don't have bits and pieces in it, in my cake or whatever I'm making. So 2 egg yolks, and we're gonna add vanilla sugar. Vanilla sugar is giving that nice aroma to the cakes or whatever or dough you're making, and this one is 10 grams. Add 3 tablespoons of powdered sugar. Why powdered sugar, not granulated sugar? In any fillings, if you use granulated sugar, you can taste that granules, but powdered sugar is incredible because it's mixed well with the fillings, so the best for anything like that. So we're gonna use 3 tablespoons. What I would suggest is using 2. Try the filling. If you feel it's nice and perfect, it's up to you. Then you can just add 2. If you think it needs more sugar, you can add 3 tablespoons of powdered sugar. Then we're gonna add vanilla extract. It will add that nice aroma to your filling. So a tiny bit of vanilla extract if you have one, and 1 tablespoon of cream. Why cream? 18 will be fine. This one is 30%, but if you've got 18 will be completely fine as well. So 1 tablespoon. Why are we adding cream? We're adding cream if your filling is quite hard. We want to add the filling, and if it's solid, it depends what type of cheese you have used for the filling. If you have used if you've used let's say full-fat curd cheese, you wouldn't have that problem. If you used half-curved curd cheese, you might have the filling really dry. That's why we're adding cream. We're adding cream if your filling is dry, to make it more loose. So you will taste it and you will know. So add 1 tablespoon if needed. Stop the mixer, try the filling, and then see how it tastes. It's really important to adjust the flavor. So I'm gonna add a bit of more sugar, 1/3 spoon, and a bit of cream. If you don't have a cream, you can add 1 tablespoon of milk to loosen it. Okay, our filling, it's ready. We're gonna put it in the fridge until we need it, and we're gonna use a cling film on it so all the smells from the fridge are not gonna go through it, and we're gonna take it out only when we're gonna be needing it later on. Okay, now we need to melt 75 grams of butter. Melted butter needs to cool down a little bit. Okay, we're gonna start with 2 large eggs, room temperature. We're gonna add it to the bowl and mix it with sugar. The eggs, we're gonna add a bit of salt and sugar. 150 milliliters of milk, we're gonna add it to a bowl. To this we're gonna add milk and flour, sifted flour, a little bit of milk, a little bit of flour until the dough will form. With this one nearly formed, we're gonna add now a starter, change the hook, add the starter, and then slowly we're gonna be adding melted butter, which is a little bit cool. Starter, as you can see here, it smells sour and it's definitely working. So we're gonna add it now. To this we're gonna add a starter and mix well, and then slowly adding butter. And now we've got everything added, we're gonna slowly be adding melted butter, and we're gonna be mixing for around 10 minutes until dough is formed nice and elastic. So about 10 minutes. Dough we only mix it on speed 1, slow down for 10 minutes. Our dough is ready, nice and elastic, and the side of the bowl is coming out from the side of the bowl, so that means it's ready. This is the consistency of our dough, as you can see here. Nice and fluffy. Ok, tak wygląda konsystencja naszego ciasta. Super delikatny i odchodzi już, jak widzicie tutaj, od dna miski. Okay, our dough is done. As you can see, it's perfect. It's just perfect. I could not be more happy with it. Now all we have to do is just cover it, and then we'll leave it in a warm place for about 1 hour, and then we can go to stage 2. Okay, what we need to do now is get a bit of flour. We've got silicone mat in here because we need to roll the pastry. Show you how our dough looks like. Looks incredible and smell. It's just perfection. Could not be more happy with it. So. Okay, and this is how it looks like. Incredible. What we have to do is now divide it by 4 equal parts, into 4 equal parts, and then we're gonna make them into a little bowl before dividing. As you can see in here, we've got 4 round ones. Now, each part we need to roll into square, and we're gonna divide it into 3 parts, equal parts, and it has to be square shape. Okay, this is the shape you're after. So what we want is to make sure they're sharp ends in here and equal parts, so then shape of them will be much better. So that's what you're after. Now time for a filling. Okay, we'll need a filling straight from the fridge. We've got in here baking tray ready with a baking paper. We've got 4 of them, so we need 1/4 of the filling for each bowl. So we're gonna put 1/4 of this filling now and spread it. Personally, I like to fill it in nearly to the edges, as you can see in here. Okay, now we have to fold it. So from the length side, we're gonna put this side, grab it and put it in half, and then this side, put it in half too. Now we're gonna cut and fold them. In here we're gonna cut it in 3. The same exactly we're gonna do with the rest of the dough and the filling. So just follow instruction as per this one. Now what we need to do with each one. Okay, now we're gonna stretch our dough. We're gonna do that exactly the same with each part. And once we stretched it, we just need to turn it once. Once there. And we put it on here. Make sure you do spaces because they're gonna grow up. Once we made them all, we need to put them on a baking tray. We're gonna bake them in and cover them with a cloth, kitchen cloth, and leave them in a warm place for about 1 hour. Okay, for them to have nice brown color, we need 1 egg and 1 tablespoon of milk. We're gonna make sure it's all combined well and then put it on top of each one. Preheat the oven first, and we're gonna bake them for 20 minutes, but first we're gonna put egg and a bit of milk for a color. Okay, we have baked them, as you can see in here, nice and cheesy, very good. Homemade. And now we've got some powdered sugar and some lemon juice, so we're gonna add some on top now.